Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss about mean of the group data. In our earlier video we have already discussed about class intervals, class max, types of class intervals and some points regarding the introduction of statistics. So now we'll see about mean of group data. Mean of group data can be found in three different ways. First one is direct method, assumed mean method or deviation method, and the final one is step deviation method. Now we'll see about each of them in detail. We will start by direct method. In this direct method, the formula we are going to use is this one, and in this one x bar denotes mean. Whenever we use the word mean, this can be replaced by x bar, and xi is nothing but class max, and we have discussed about this class max in our earlier video, and I am going to give you the link in the description also for your reference. And this class max is calculated by taking upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2 of each class. So like that we can find class mark of any given class interval, and as you know, fi is sum of the frequencies of given classes, and the symbol sigma is read as sigma, which stands for summation, but simply in other words addition. So this is how we use direct method to find mean of group data. So when we start trying solving the problems, then we can better understand this one. So first we should get familiar with the technical terms and also the formula. And the second one is assumed mean method or simply deviation method. So the formula is like this. Here also, as we have mentioned earlier, this x bar is nothing but mean. Here you can see a letter small a, which we call it as assumed mean. What is this assumed mean? Assumed mean is nothing but out of the given class marks like x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, we are going to choose the probability which is in the middle of the values. Here I choose x3 as a, which is my assumed mean. No doubt that you can select any one of these 5. You can take even this last one, or even you can take the first one. But Selecting the middle one will make our calculation little easy. That's why we usually select the middle one. So why we have to assume a mean before going to find the final answer? Means here when the values of f x, that is class marks, frequencies are little larger, then to find the product of this xi and fi, just like we have seen in our earlier formula, this product will become difficult and time consuming. So in order to reduce that difficulty, we are implementing a small change here. So as a part of this change, we have assumed some value out of the class marks. Then we have to see about this letter D, is called as deviation. What is this deviation? This deviation is denoted by d I, which can be calculated as xi minus this a is our assumed value and this xi is the class marks of the given class interval. So from each class mark we are going to subtract the assumed value so that we will get d values, that is deviation values. For example, if I want to find d1, I have to take x1 minus a. Is the case of d2, and this becomes x2 minus a, and d3 becomes 3 minus a, and so on. And the third and final step in this one, the assumed mean method, is finding the product of fi and so when we are going to reduce the values of ei to some little small extent, then our multiplication will be much easier than that of the earlier method, that is direct method. So this is all about assumed mean method or deviation method. And the final one, I assume the very simple and easiest one, is step deviation method. What we are going to do in this method we will discuss now. So first of all, let us look at the formula. Here the formula is x bar denotes something. A is again mentioned here as assumed mean. A new here ui, a new letter h. We'll see about them. What is this h? H is nothing but class length, or simply called as the size of the class or length of the class. So how to find this size or length of the class? It's nothing but how to take the difference of either consecutive lower boundaries or consecutive upper boundaries. Then we can get that value directly. And we have to see about ui. Instead of xi from direct method, we have changed to di in deviation method. Now it is the case of ui in step deviation method. That means we are simplifying from method to method. You can see here in the first case it is xi, and in the second case it is di, where di equals xi. Yes, and we have done a little change to this one, little modification or simplification, as xi minus a divided by h. This h is nothing but size of the class. By using this simplification, we can find the value of ui. So I don't think that there is much difference between step deviation and a deviation method. The only change here is, instead of di, we have here ui. That too, the ui calculation is dependent on di, but what we have done here is simply I can write it as di by h. In order to find ui, we are dividing di by h. That is the only difference here. And this denominator is, as usual, it is a summation of all fi's. And one more extra letter we have seen here is h into h. So all these two methods are nothing but simplifications, simplified forms of direct method. And no doubt that all these three methods gives the same answer. So once you get in touch with these three different methods or formulae, then enjoy the experience of solving mean of group data. I hope you understand this one, and if you have any doubts, you can comment them. Thanks for watching.